isolate some of these players on the site, but there's no one there. They've all fallen back. A disciplined play from FNATIC, a spam from Chronicle that does some damage, but he's left on 10 HP. Gonna look to someone else to be the hero of this round.
For now, at least. After plant ensued, and still with mid control as well. Vanity just being a nuisance, but Zeppa has gone. The trade back from Durka, keeping things even for now. The dart to try and clear any of these close angles, but for now at least, C9 are managed to hold on to their lead. Even still, a back and forth ensuing. This wraparound from behind could cause FNATIC issues, but a bigger issue is that time ticking down on the clock. Somehow, though, it's left on to just Vanity, buying as much time as humanly possible. A chance to clear out both, and the IGL's going to clutch them that pistol round and take it 1-0.
The pistol round for C9, that's what we like to see. They managed to get an early start on map 1, but it wasn't based on the pistol. It was a force buy to get back into things. Now, a different story starts to emerge, and we'll see C9 with a leg up on the attack side. Building on it, presumably. I don't know that FNATIC will go for a force. It's hard on this map. Marshals, you get a lot of those, but look at the composition you're up against. Not only a Viper, but a Harbor as well. They're going to be able to bypass a lot of those longer range angles. Feels like somewhere that you do just take the eco, and, well, that's exactly what FNATIC are doing. One Marshal on Leo, so an opportunity, and when combined with some of these other weapons, Durka, for example, having himself a Sheriff, there is a serious opportunity. Curry already, even after the heal, we'll just need one body shot to fall, and Leo's on the rotate towards this side. There's going to be a lot of defense here on A. See if they can make something work.
Expectations low, but never zero. Cove will give them cover, not really anything that can break that, and Alpha somehow, the man with the classic, is the only one getting a kill, at least for the moment. He does have to be a bit careful. Well, it wouldn't have mattered if he was low or not with the headshot. Taking away Leo's utility is definitely a good idea. But then again, he doesn't have any left anyway. Wrap around, Guardian retrieved. Even an extra kill here could drop a rifle to the ground, and saving for him doesn't really have that same sort of impact. A clinical shot onto Curry, but they will retrieve that extra Guardian in the end.
So very close, 27 and 42 HP. That Guardian could have done work with one more bullet fired out with a slightly higher fire rate on it. Quicker clicks, but it didn't happen. 2-0, C9. They take damage. Let's see how they decide to invest. As we get back into the game, I'm curious to see if they're actually going to dive all in, put all their credits on the line, or if they're going to decide to just stick with what they have and try to make the best of a bad situation, playing the round 3 bonus with a lot of weaknesses. For FNATIC, they will be buying up fully. They'll be in a good position with Leo working towards his ultimate already. The Hunter's Fury closest to being online for the side of FNATIC, and you can see C9 have gone for a lot of pistols. This is a very weak round, and no surprise they're looking for B, a site where if they can break some ground, they'll have a much easier time with the close range fights, getting through those trap wires. A little bit of a different story. Durka already firing off. He's dashed into the open. That's a little bit of an overzealous play. Luckily, Leo was there to lend a hand.
Yeah, looking all too easy. A flawless round. The only damage was actually done onto Durka, who basically paraded himself in front of the opponents. Oh, look at me over here.
15 health, a little too close for comfort, you could say.
Yeah. Ult's getting ever closer, though. You got yourself Blade Storm not far away. You got yourself a Hunter's Fury.
One enemy remaining.
Same on the other side with the Blade Storm as well. And also Reckoning only a couple away. Definitely good for getting that information. Either way,
this is a nice spot.
See how C9 look to bounce back. This is where they have the full purchase. Bear in mind, they had so many sort of weaker weapons in the last round. It's not really the end of the world. Investing the orb actually into Seekers, which is interesting. As I said, there's some really high impact ults that are not far away. Clearly they want that late round information. Just look at the aggressive push already from Durka. He's got himself right up close in mid.
It's a good angle to just secure that crossover. Again, the concern for him being someone could come from elbow. Walking out elbow, coming back, doubling back towards mid, it's not too likely to happen. But if it's a split with the mid players, he could definitely be in trouble. And now, he might well be. They know that he's got to be somewhere around here. He can't dash out of here. He tried to. I can't use that. The voice line comes in. No way out of there, buddy. Unlucky for Durka as he is dropped, and a great punish for C9 to start this round.
Yeah, this, for the moment, left Alpha a little bit isolated, but again, he's had that info. Heals coming through onto Jake to even things up a little bit. Leo has rotated in to support over on that B site. Now this is where the execution begins. Just trying to find all of those trips, trying to make things tougher for Alpha. But, oh, I was going to say, he had a chance to find a few. The time is the main thing, though. They need to kill off Leo at the back of this site. A single bullet could have caused them extra problems with that plant, but instead, wow, Boaster looks a little bit lost in the source as Oxy is close, and he's caught with utility in hand. It leaves Chronicle 1 versus 3. A tough opportunity to try and find anything in this scenario, but he also doesn't know where the majority of the players are, and they're in a pretty nasty crossfire.
Yeah, I think he's even realizing chances of winning this are insanely low. It's not just a crossfire with 2 players, Spawn being point of contact, then a double swing can come out. Even if that Spawn player was instantly dropped, you would have 2 more to contend with in a heartbeat. There is just no chance. The reposition quite wise if he is looking to save and if he's looking to do damage. A good chance that they decide to move towards B main to save these weapons. Unfortunately, they have gone for Spawn. So Chronicle, although he won't be able to cause any further damage to the C9 economy, he will at least be able to bring this weapon through to the next.
Well, especially with they last saw him in mid. So you'd almost assume the last place he'd be would be main. So yeah, I don't mind the idea, but a good read in the end from C9 and already getting their 3rd round on the board. This definitely doesn't look like, but from what we've seen so far this tournament, I think we already knew this, but losing the first map is not the end of the world for C9. In fact, their first map every single day has been a loss. They haven't been great in the first ones, even if it's their choice or not. But they're always able to swing back slow starters. To be honest, as many America's teams are and have been historically.
Yeah.
If they can sweep things back, they'll be quite happy. The flash timing is not fantastic. It does blind the opponent, though. And hey, if you have Durka as backup, I think you can survive.
Pretty reliable backup and put in the work. Already finding that opening is a solid sign for FNATIC. C9 won't be moving towards the A site now. They've completely abandoned it, instead looking to navigate their way in towards B. This is where the setup is quite dangerous. Alfia's got traps everywhere. Cam up top. They've heard it being cancelled out. He's managed to spot one, but he's waiting for someone to step that little bit further forward. They've broken one trap. They've broken a second. Okay, now a Cove even going to help them out on the cross, but he stepped inside it. That's a safe spot for Alfia to fight from. And he relishes that opportunity, ripping off their heads. And, well, not quite grabbing Oxy, but Boaster's snake bite will manage to close it out.
I got 2 things. Number 1, Leo's dart is just the... I feel like he's the greatest Sova player we've ever seen. Like, he basically pinged every single player. Number 2, I would love to get a replay of Alfia's cam as they started to enter the site. He had his hand off his mouse and was just twiddling his mustache.
I didn't notice that. What?
Because he's in the cam, so he doesn't need to touch his mouse.
Yeah,
so he's literally, he was just chilling. Like, it was just so funny during the round. He's literally just not actually doing anything. Up until the point where they enter, he sees them on the cam. He's like, all right, hand back on
mouse. Where's my
mouse
again? Good job he didn't knock it off the table.
Truly was just relaxing. Just relaxing.
Panic flick. Now, Durka has tried pushing down a mid and staying close, but they spotted him out last time. This time, swinging out wide, clearing it all out. Ultimates, certainly plenty of them online for C9. One less now. You see Jay pop his. Oh, the Blade Storm is taken down. Chronicle ready. He might be left on 10 HP yet again, but he's done the work. A kill that's doubled up on by his teammate. C9 have at least managed to grab a plant. From this point, though, Vanity and Zeppa have to do so much work, and they have no idea that Durka is so quickly coming behind them with focus elsewhere. Okay, Curry actually turns. He's looking the right way, but the flash have caught him. Durka doubling up, looking for the triple, and there it is. A clean fight back through for FNATIC as they equalize a little earlier on this map.
Yeah, that was just a really nice round for them in general. The fact is, I think the first knives that were fired out by Oxy was actually through the high tide, and then it just doesn't manage to land the next one as he goes through it. A close attempt. This was the moment. Okay, one knife actually does hit, and then Chronicle again. He's just not dead until he's dead. That seems to be the motto for him so far this game. They also used themselves some of those ults. As you said, beginning of the round, They had the majority online, 3 of them expended, and all they really get for it is a plant. And again, Durka, he had a fantastic map earlier in the day. I think it was 19 and 10. He's already well on his way to getting that far.
Well, Tom, a tactical timeout for C9 as their lead has now diminished to a fraction of what they hope to have already. Just 3 rounds on the board coming in to round number 7, with FNATIC having all the momentum, with ultimates having been expended on the side of C9 for very little reward. This is starting to look a little bit scary. It's the right time to call a pause. Things haven't gotten out of hand just yet by any means. But like Ian said, once the ball gets rolling, Tom, that's where the trouble starts coming. And
it doesn't all come with typical questions. How would you stop FNATIC?
Well,
what
Tom,
do you mean?
What's the exact solution? Yeah, you know,
I would sign the Loud roster. That would be my way to stop it, because they're the only team that did it consistently.
There you go.
There you go. That's my actual answer.
So swap out all the players on stage on the other side.
You also have to sign Aspas back from Leviathan as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So
you don't believe in the new Loud, more so. Obviously, without
to
Aspas.
beat FNATIC?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's reasonable. I mean, without Aspas, it's certainly a reasonable take, Tom. See if you eat those words next year.
Maybe.
I doubt you will.
Maybe. Sadak,
Maybe.
Look,
Probably.
if Sadak does it again with another new roster, he is the GOAT IGL. Like, I don't think it's even arguable at that point. As if you lose Aspas, you lose Sassy Pancada, and you're still up there with the best, fair play. Fair play. I think they'll still be up there next year. Just
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best.
Less is still unreal. Less is more, as they say. 3-3. A lighter investment and not a lot to play with in terms of ults. I don't think a null command is going to be able to save them when it comes to a low buy round like this. Durka, he's consistently been up mid, but this is a new angle, a new position, and he already knows that there's players around this spot. He has just been running riot across the map. Alpha will go down. His aggression met by Vanity. In fact, he's still finding a couple of kills through the tube. We've seen that in the pistol round as well. The second this high tide goes down,
it's dropping.
Someone's dying.
It's a matter of seconds. We'll see this fight come through for Dirk. He's looking the wrong way, and that's a free kill for Jake. A big punish with the advanced position that they had, and now they've whittled it down to just 1. Leo left alive for just a second longer. What a round from Jake.
Yeah. Yeah, someone early in the tournament I feel like was a bit quieter in terms of his individual play, but the more time spent on the stage, the more impact he's seeming to have. Cloud9 are going to take themselves the lead once again, but a real back and forth. And while my main worry is that there's now a weapon in play that hasn't been thus far this map, the operator for Durka. And that's the thing, he's been super dynamic, aggressive with where he's been playing across the map. But now he can literally play anywhere. In fact, he's going to peek B main.
They're very passive on B. Oxy is here holding the angle, waiting for the peek to come through. And the shot will not land on either side. But that has deterred C9 from sticking around. They're looking to take the A site. It looks like it's wide open for them. There is one player a little further back. It's Boaster. He's avoided the dog for now. But he can't do a whole lot. Powerless with his abilities removed. He has to rely on his weapon or on his teammates rotating back. That flash was perfect. Curry capitalizing and now looking to retreat as Oxy picks off Durka. That's the op out of the round. A big threat for FNATIC, now diminished to nothing. And for C9, they have all the control they could possibly wish for, even spawning Chronicle on the flank. This might even change FNATIC's mind about committing to this. Well, if it didn't before, that certainly should. Alpha wants to get out of here. Easier said than done.
Yeah, they were asked the question in some of the pre-tapes, who is most likely to win a 1v5? I think Bosa said anybody except him, which we talked about. He has the highest clutch percentage of, I think, any player in the NBA.
Any player from multiple seasons. I think it's been 2 seasons back-to-back plus playoffs. Guy is just nuts when it comes to clutching. But he doesn't believe in himself. Let's put it this way. It's not that he doesn't believe in himself, Tom. It's that he believes in his teammates even more.
Yeah, and when your teammates are Alfia, Leo, Dirk, and Chronicle, that's fair enough.
I think I understand why. I don't know if you'd have that same attitude in our Prem team.
Let's put it this way. The players they replaced have just joined Team Liquid. So you know that your upgrades are good if that's the case. Viper's Pit can be put down to deny that mid control. It's something that C9 have fought for quite regularly, especially with the Harbor utility. It's something that becomes a lot easier to take. Dirk will have that operator again and a Blade Storm in his back pocket. And Oxy has kept that op for himself from the last round. Plenty of credits built up for C9 as well. 5 rounds already on this attack, looking pretty good. But it's a very, very passive hold this time out from FNATIC. I feel like it's been the aggression of Durka that has actually been working out for them on this defensive side. So I almost wonder if they don't win this round, he'll just be back to his old tricks in the next.
Well, it looks like things C9 are looking more towards giving Alpha an opportunity to recapture his performance from the previous map. Currently moving in through mid, picking off Chronicle, a huge kill. But they are refocusing, Tom. I'm seeing a lot of eyes on this Viper's Pit. A lot of players moving back towards A. The Seeker now chasing down the Viper. Boaster being forced back bit by bit, but he's not giving up the control. The Snakebite denying any further aggression. The Decay already crippling these players quite a bit. They're going to be so low on the way through. Boaster's caught them. That's it. They got to sprint in, and the clock has already decided the round. They tried to go through a pit, Tom. They gambled the whole round on it.
Yeah.
And that's not always a good idea, as we just saw.
They realized as well, that was the thing. They were like, okay, we can't run through the Snakebite.
Let's go back.
We can't. We've got to go back. And then, I don't know, Vanity, someone else went,
time.
guys, you got 15 seconds. You can't make that rotation. So then, last second, they have to run through. And that's not working.
Even with 30 on the clock, Tom, I see them start to look that way. I see the players start to move in, and it's like, that's a big gamble. Sure,
yeah.
If Boaster goes out of the pit, you catch him there, great. If someone sprays him because the Seeker shows him, great. But in the instance where you do not kill him, it's over. He has to massively screw up at that point. And by the way, they were still like 40 HP going back into the pit. The Decay hadn't gone away yet. So then it just further compounded to 1 HP. It's like, he needs to sneeze on you.
Knife gonna take out all of the abilities. Leo and Alpha, a deadly duo. Alpha will get first blood, but Oxy's managed to trade. Both players at the back of the site. The Reckoning is gonna start to cause havoc with them stunned up, and Oxy just looking to pressure now. He's already tagged, bear that in mind, and Chronicle just in time will get that execution. These trips again have caused them issues on the B site entry. Just as you think C9 are gonna walk away with this half, again, FNATIC respond.
5-5, very similar to how we started out on Bind. It's neck and neck coming towards the end of the half. Still so much to be played for. It's the side of FNATIC that come in with a slight advantage. Again, this is a round where C9 commit some ultimates. Saw the Reckoning burned up. Jake suggested they move, and well, they moved right back up to an even footing. As we come into round number 11, side of FNATIC, once again, looking to get aggressive. Sorry, looking to have the op on A, but this time looking to get aggressive more so, as Durka is posted up, and Vanity, okay,
oh, careful.
He spotted him. He saw him, and he's out.
Again, middle control being fought for.
Great cascade. Flash confirms he's still in main. Good information to play around. They haven't been able to cross over, and for the most part, I think that's been spotted.
Even with this mid control, it gives them more of a split in towards that B site or into A if they desire. But with how passive FNATIC are playing now that they have the operator, you're almost looking for a mistake. And while Chronicle is already going to get that first, he is just flying at the moment, looking for a little bit more, but the trade from his doppelganger will keep things even, at least for now.
Take flight.
Leo is likely to garner that extra information that this is the site to be played within. And that now brings Alpha into the fray. And again, it's just back and forth.
30 seconds left.
That's kept even. Boaster's miles away. Leo has to be careful not to be isolated in a duel, and he has been spotted. A returning fire on Curry. The problem is that second player, while his crosshair was trained on Curry, Vanity took the opportunity to grab the kill, then the information with the flash, and now the execution, or at least attempt it. Healing back up Curry as well. He will be sitting pretty on 100 HP on top of yellow. Point of contact as the cross comes in. Boaster might have an angle, never mind. Curry very quickly shuts that down.
6-5. C9 once again. This pressure into the A connector. The one round it went badly wrong was because of that Viper's Pit. Everything else has worked out wonderfully for them, managing to pick off Durka in the early stages of that one. I feel like Jake has had a lot of high-impact rounds, as has Vanity. I feel like they got caught a couple of times by that flank and then have very quickly adapted to it. Either way, with the way this half has gone, you almost expect FNATIC to even think back up again. It's just been the case throughout, and they still have that op, they still have the rifles, and they have the advantage when it comes to ults.
Like you said, the adaptations have been there, and so far for FNATIC, being able to keep it in this close scoreline has been a consistent factor for this defense. With the op in play for Durka, okay, it's not going to be spotted. But Vanity knows better than to go swinging on the back of that, trying to grab the information with himself. Will only result in him becoming minced meat. The side of C9 have played this much more stagnant on the attack, just slowing it down, waiting for the opportunities to be played, and oh, there we go. Nice shot from Durka, nice shot from Chronicle, and it looks like the dominoes are starting to topple. Curry tries to step it up, but then Leo comes in from the top and puts Zeppa in a 1v3. And he's going to cross the world, but there's still some traps online, Tom. He's going to struggle to get onto this site.
Yeah, Boaster. Let's rotate it back now. Well, any surprise he had is gone.
30 seconds left.
And Neural Theft with the second ping, and wall banged out by Durka. No surprise to see FNATIC even things up as they head once again 6-6 into the second half. But just bear in mind what happened last time out. 6-6 half. A decent start for C9 that ended up slipping into even territory. And then half number 2, FNATIC demolished them. Absolutely demolished them. Now going into this attack side, this is where I really want to see what C9 have got, because in terms of delay with that Harbor Viper, there's a decent amount. In terms of their sort of pop flashes, what they have available to set up Oxy, there's a lot. The question is, can they put that all into play when facing off against FNATIC, who we already know can cause issues?
Well, the good sign of this one compared to the previous one, Tom, is that last time when we saw this equal scoreline, that scoreboard looked a little bit more separated. Oxy was leading the charge, the rest of the squad was much further behind. This has been a much more well-rounded approach from the side of C9. Everybody stepping up to the plate. In fact, the IGL of Vanity up on top right now. And this is what I like to see. More tightly knit means a better opportunity for this squad to actually deliver. Now that Oxy can be set up that little bit more to capitalize on dueling angles. Maybe have that Durka-like performance.
That's the only thing that scares me, though, is you're talking about a Durka-like performance. Durka is having a Durka-like performance. Like, he is 14-6, especially in those first, like, I want to say 8 rounds. He was just tearing them apart, like running down mid, finding entry kills left, right, and center. And now his job becomes that on the attack, to take that space for the team. If he is on a tear, okay, this job can still be difficult, dashing into the smokes, but I bet on him to find that kill 9 times out of 10, and C9 are going to have to work, really work, to try and shut that one down. Either way, we are going to be getting ourselves back into this second half. Sheriff sport up, not just for Oxy, but also for Vanity. Feeling confident in his individual aim, as you said. He's at the top of the board right now, but it does remove some of that extra utility.
Yeah, it's kind of wild to see him come in like this. Confidence on display, and the ranged fight goes well with Durka already tagged up.
Curry's the one who wins that. 2 sheriffs against each other. It's the guy with the classic that finds the head.
Just got to hit the headshot. That's all it's about, regardless of the weapon. Once he was tagged up. Nice poster. Little sneak through. The rest of the squad a little bit later on the way, but he's been spotted. And how much do they have to cross over? They've got to wait for this wall to come back online to block off spawn. And it looks like they're falling back, stagnating a little bit on the aggression. Durka leading the charge towards A, but still, they have Oxy sat up on top of the stairs waiting for this rotation. They didn't gamble and leave the A site wide open. They weren't convinced that it was going to be B, and now the reward can be found for that. Oxy not able to initiate the fight, and in fact, they've crossed over, grabbed the plant, and now they'll look to fight the top stairs together. But, well, the fight has not gone according to plan. Everybody tagged, but at the end of the day, Leo needs to hit every shot.
Like
they just line him up, take him down, and find another pistol round.
Yeah, I like the fact that they had that elevated peak. The chance of him getting both kills is 1,000,000 to 1 when you set up like that as he rounds the corner, especially with the Sheriff. Obviously, with Leo, maybe the odds are slightly increased because of just how good he is individually. But that is now Cloud9 taking themselves another pistol. Now, we've said this before. You win both pistols, the game should be yours. But the way that things have been going so far, how close everything has been, I wouldn't count the chickens just yet. Either way, just a few Sheriffs. Now, we saw in the previous match, or previous map, I should say, the Cloud9 were happy to force, but it seems like, especially on a map like Breeze, I feel like the force buy just doesn't have that same impact, like coming in with SMGs on a map which has massive angles, and instead you're going to have Leo just investing into that Marshall.
Yeah, again, just hoping that Alpha and Durka land a body shot, and he's basically got an AWP at that point. And Alpha and Durka landing a body shot.
Shots?
That's the other point, I suppose.
Alpha
and Durka land at 145.
Yeah,
then,
there you go. There you go.
I suppose at that point the classic will do. But that's the thing. Worst case scenario for these guys is generally that they tag you down, they hit you in the shoulder. And at that
Maybe
point,
if they hit the headshot through the wall. I think that's more.
That's probably statistically more likely.
Well,
look, 82 HP on Leo. He got tagged up, but he's still floating around, still looking for opportunities.
Vanity got hit by the wallbang from the Marshall, so he's going to be a bit low as well. But it is just more of a standoff. Eventually, FNATIC are going to have to be the ones to make the move. They've got that mid control, but there is no aggression here. And this is the right play from C9. Don't give them anything. Don't give them a chance to retrieve a rifle. Don't go pushing. Just wait for them to have to execute with minimal utility. It becomes so difficult to get anything done. Again, I feel like the knives have been perfect as well. Once again, this man doesn't seem to miss. 15 seconds up and coming on the clock for FNATIC to try and do anything. And while Zeppa is going to steal that ace away. But this is why we've ranted and raved about Oxy's individual ability. That was clean.
He's got it for days, man, and that's him now top fragging the server, just overtaking Durka. We said he needed to capture a Durka-like performance. Thing is, you do that up against the pistols. That's one thing. Now FNATIC are going to be pulling out rifles. A collateral kill there as well slows down their push, opens up a lot more space for C9 or for Oxy in particular to reset into those later fights, for teammates to come through, for flashes to come in. Now there's a little bit more of a challenge potentially, especially seeing that Blade Storm out from Oxy though might help them out slightly. He's been spotted getting aggressive, so the element of surprise no longer in play, but that doesn't take away from the effect these knives can have.
Yeah, dash gone means that the level of risk triples. And FNATIC once again, I think they were well aware of that potential push. Trips set up, and also the cam just watching deep. It was going to be difficult for him to find any level of space with this double initiator comboed with a Cypher. Like, there's just so much information available, and a map with as large rotations as Breeze, you kind of need that. Oxy, though, well placed to meet this push as they go running into B.
Durka needs some support as the rest of the squad comes filling through. It's Chronicle to find one, but Oxy stepping up to the plate. Durka will shut him down with Vanity on 5. That's a lot of space opened up, and the rotation's delayed significantly. The plant should be acquired, and even further dealing damage as Alphier has support as they look to trade him out. It's Leo from afar, but it's not pretty. He does get damage done with Zeppa and Jake both very low. The 2v2 nonetheless for a squad that often deals damage straight to the head. Guardians in hand, this could go either way. Still, FNATIC need to be careful not to let this slip away. Oh, that's so awkward. Jake had the jump, but it's a little bit of a whiff. With 40 HP and spotted up, there wasn't much chance for Zeppa to pull that across the line. FNATIC are back on the board.
Yeah, somewhat the expected result. Obviously, you had the Blade Storm to slightly pad the round, but ultimately that was the full purchase of FNATIC, and it was only the saved weapons plus the Blade Storm to go into this round. Still, though, you just feel like Jake has been pretty clean thus far this game. That was an opportunity. That was a chance, and, well, as you can see, he knows it. Still, though, C9 in the lead, and now they come in with that big purchase. Okay, Curry's going to be left on a Guardian, but I was going to say Oxy's gone for the Operator, but he decides against it.
It's a very slow start to this round. FNATIC waiting for C9 to make a move. C9 in very much the same spot. You just saw the knife used up on B. Trying to clear out if anybody was towards this elbow. As you hear the camera activated and deactivated, they start to get suspicious. They have seen, you know, Cypher utility, knowing an elbow. It's not that much to work off of. You're not going to play the rotations on the back of it. And so FNATIC will find a much easier way into the A site.
Cage triggered.
Oh, what?
That was like someone who accidentally knocked their mouse. Ridiculous. Leo has, however, managed to find Jake. We'll have to try and move on from what we've just seen. And Oxy, well, he moved his way into the site. A lot of damage done, but Durka just doesn't die. Leaving it into a 3 versus 2. All 3 players have fallen back in towards the cave, and Durka's not stopping. That W key has been held, making his play to potentially join Paper XP. Click shift, so he's already been removed from the roster. Leo trying to use the shock darts, but they're just not ready. And again, Durka, alongside a little bit of help from Leo, is going to be able to close the round. 8-8, scoreline equalized. But I'm going to need to see what Oxy did again.
That was ridiculous, dude. So the cage goes up. I'm thinking Alpha's maybe in trouble here. Yeah, that's about right. What? As I saw he's close, I'm like, okay, but you have to run through the cage and it's going to make noise. Alpha's going to turn, so we have a battle on our hands.
It's insane. Our scoreboard right now, 2 players, 20 and 21. The next highest kills in the server is 9, and now they're even. Oxy will take the fight, but there is a trade out. Seemingly tried to do it all on his own.
Poison's off.
Yeah, surprising lack of support there, right? Like, he goes down, no further trades. It's an aggressive round, but
Especially when you have a low buy,
yes,
I feel like you just send whatever you have to support
at
him.
least 1 or 2. You know, you got to have players there, bodies, but they tried something. It didn't work. Now they've got to recover it elsewhere. Alpha down to 25. That's a good opportunity. If ever I've seen one.
Do they know?
He's going to be a
I don't
human
think they
recon
know.
dart. He's dead. Surely Curry's going to kill him. No,
They don't know he's there.
They've went back. Still, that could work in Curry's favor later on into this. As he could get the jump on them, being a little closer than expected. He's dropped Leo 25 on Alpha, and the right click is enough. Now he's going to Vandal, and the flash is perfect. Gorgeous flash from Zeppa, leaving Chronicle to do it all. And the spike is down on the site. This was a low buy round from C9 where they sent Oxy on runabouts. Oxy died. I thought the round should be done and dusted there. But the positioning out of Curry has given them a new lease of life. Chronicle looking to drain every ounce of it out of them. 82 and 3 players swinging. No chance. C9 have the lead.
What a round from Curry. Hey, he's playing with the classic throughout the majority of that. Managed to get 2 kills, and I honestly, I was thinking, okay, he probably gets Alpha, and then that's it. But instead, gets the first onto Leo, and he sees the gun. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Just a pixel of the barrel of the gun, and just risks it for a biscuit. Puts that right click through. 9-8. A back and forth map of Breeze, a much closer affair. Oh, we're going to see the tactical pause called. A moment once again for Almapuddy and Imi to talk things through with the teams. I am just looking at those Jets, both with 21 kills. It has been a display. We compared them at the beginning, and I'll be honest, when it comes to analysis, it's the laziest form. Comparing 2 Jet players.
Jet, it's like 2020 all over again.
But I was asked by our producer Sam, who I want to compare at the beginning of the day, and I was like, I have to do it. I have to do it because they have been so, like, Oxy has been a superstar, and Durka, the thing is, he hasn't been playing to, I would say, his best throughout the tournament so far.
Sure.
He's been very good. He's been fine. But now we're seeing why. We've always marveled. We've talked about him since the very first international event back in Iceland, where he went to take on the likes of Sentinels. Where are they now? Who knows? But either way, he has kept it on for such a long time and is still tearing up this server once again. Quieter performances from some of the other members who were there in the last map. Alpha, he's a bit lower down the board. Don't know if that'll last.
I think it's funny as well. You look at both Oxy and Durka being 1 kill away. 3 kills away. I suppose I saw Leo's got 12, but only a couple kills away from double the next player on the server.
Is
It's unreal.
But only one of them gets to take the map. For the longevity of the series, I might be a little bit America's bias because I want this one to keep going.
Yeah, listen. At this point, I don't blame you. And if FNATIC take Breeze and move on to Ascent, it's C9's map pick, but we saw it earlier on.
Yeah.
And in fact, you know,
Reverse sweeps are rare, you know.
well,
we've seen a couple, but
if anyone was to do it, I think both of these rosters would be right up the top of your list for the potential. C9 with the lead. They don't want to let this slip. If they win this round, FNATIC will have very little economy to invest into the next. Ultimates might bridge the gap, especially with a Blade Storm online for Durka, but it will make them uncomfortable. And that's all that C9 can ask for, with double digits to be contended for. The attack side of FNATIC certainly focusing in on the B site, and it looks like the rotations from Jake are well timed.
almost caught, but Curry survives. The back of the site, he's caused them problems. Chronicle being revived. Now bear in mind the time getting a little bit low. The spam throw onto Curry, he's still just about surviving. Lurking around the edge of this high tide. He's got to try and go all the way through, and he manages to find the kill. Now bear in mind, they're down to just 12 seconds. The peek out from Jake will find one, but they are still sticking that plant. It will go through.
Just about. It's worked out for now. FNATIC in a 3v3. It's that op, though. That's what I'm worried about. You peek out, you try to see where these players are, you try to punish on the back of that. It wasn't even the op. It might close the round, but Zeppa so quickly adjusted. He was the player they spotted. He was the player they tried to double swing. And somehow he picked up both of those kills. C9 double digits. FNATIC, well, they're going to struggle now. Hey, listen. You and me both.
Hey. He's got a long career ahead of him. I don't think anybody's doubting that at this stage.
How mental is Curry there? Like he's 11 HP. When he stands up beside the wall, he's like, I'm gonna go through this. I don't think I can win a fight unless I surprise him. I'll drop the planter and maybe we'll win off of time. They didn't need the time in the end. That's also Oxy now taking the top fragger on the server.
The other thing as well is it also creates chaos for everybody on FNATIC to run into awkward spots. Like all their post plants go out the window the second that spike is dropped. So there was 2 players stuck on default when they go to retake. So he somewhat wins them the round just because of that. And Oxy, it's huge. He was fantastic in map 1. He's kept it going map 2. We're hoping that this series will go the distance, and who knows how many kills he'll have by the end of it. But if they, let's put it this way, if they are going to win, he might need 100+.
They've invested so much here. A Blade Storm, Alpha, and Leo both grabbing rifles, and to lose Boaster, your smoke's on the way through. They need to win these fights, rely on Durka. Capwood, rely on Alpha here, apparently just swinging into Curry. Vanity's down after 1. It's a round for Alpha here to put into the books. A plant coming through from the man himself, Leo. With the Hunter's Fury online, the post plant could be strong. Still to contend with is the Blade Storm from Durka. On the way back through, C9 could be in trouble, but that op from Oxy, I expected it to be a big factor in the previous round. It wasn't quite. He's going to use the Blade Storm to close the distance, a blade-on-blade battle. And it's going to be Oxy to win it. A beautiful kill, leaving just 1 man alive. Leo miles away. He has the Hunter's Fury. He will pop it. He will use it and almost grab the kill. Oxy's low. He's delayed them at least a moment. That was almost a double. Still 2 players standing though, and he has to break the cove. It's just a few bullets needed. Half already. Leo somehow in a position where this is not only winnable, but it's won!
The RedBull clutch coming out of Leo, and are you even surprised? Are you even surprised
yes,
at
I'm
this point?
surprised he used the Hunter's Fury in a 1v3, Tom, and they got a cove! I'm goddamn surprised!
I'm not surprised he won it at all.
God.
Not even for a second. This is what this man does. This is what he does on so many different occasions. Almost collided them off the back of the Hunter's Fury, but it turned out he only needed that for the first. C9. Wow. They got to be kicking themselves. 10-9. New lease of life, but they have been shut down immediately. Cloud9 are not looking to give this one up. Leo still standing, striking the fear of God into his opponents. As once again, he looks to turn this round back from a seemingly impossible position. A 4v2, turn 3. Tapping that plant, he almost goes down because of it. The spam has done damage, and now Chronicle's all that's left. 3 players facing off against him. And the heroics of Leo in the last round couldn't bring that lead much closer. With now 11 for C9, just a couple away. And actually, the money is the real issue for FNATIC.
Yeah, backs against the wall now after that investment. Win one, lose one, and now look at where they found themselves. This is going to be tough. Still, Oxy up on top. We had them. Durka and Oxy were tied up, 21 kills each. And now here we are with 25 for Oxy, convincingly leading the charge for the side of C9. Curry has that pit, you saw him. He wanted to use it, but he didn't hear anybody. No point of contact, no one there. Instead, it's the A site, and he uses the pit now. Okay, it's a little late into the round when all the noise is being used on, or being made on A. For C9, they're still winning the fights. They might not need that Viper's pit. They don't need a whole lot. Jake, oh, he's baking around the back of the site, trying to catch them. Flash has unfortunately caught him.
Here.
He slowed down a little bit, but he has the support. They've got the angle to work with, and there's the Viper's pit doubling down.
Leo is 1 away as well from getting that Hunter's Fury again. Just used it moments ago to win the clutch. Chronicle tagged up within the site, but the time is what they're playing with. Leo, 3rd kill, that's Hunter's Fury. Now this becomes a real issue. This round is slipping away, but it's left to him again. Another clutch needed from Leo, and he's gonna go for the spam through, trying to find the player on the spike. Jake is just sticking it all the way. The bullets are landing. He's gonna take it from under Leo's nose. He's not gonna strike twice.
With the Hunter's Fury online as well, I don't blame him for going for the spams. Conscious that that second player was likely just going to push him down and take him out in the middle of his attempted denial to lose the Viper as well, for the pit to fall. So much went against them in this round. I think none more so than the position it was planted in. It gave him a safe angle to hide behind the wall, just about protecting him. We could see the crosshair clearly lined up on the player, but it's not enough. The pyramid in the way gives him the advantage, and now C9 12-9, 3 chances to close this map out. The map pick of FNATIC, returning the favor, as FNATIC did the very same to them on their choice. This one being a little bit closer, but Oxy is looking to end it here and now. Already Alpha Air dropped, Hunter's Fury being burned up, a desperate attempt to entry into the site to find some space, but there is next to none being granted. One by one, they've fallen. And although C9 have some low players, the advantage remains well and truly within their grasp. The Seekers even locking in these final FNATIC players. They know exactly where they are.
It does give the information that that flank could be coming, though.
Blinded.
But Vanity won't mind. Leo trying to sneak his way through. He's got a lot further than actually expected him to. It seems like they're aware, but he's already found one. Oxy quick to trade, and up close Jake will put down one more. Bolster, well, he said he's not the man to win a 1v5. How about 4? No. Oxy's the man to close it. This young star having one of the best performances we've seen on this stage. And with 13-9, it's no clean sweep, Mitch. We were worried after map number 1 that maybe FNATIC would just close it out in 3. Well, they're going to have to go for a 3-1 at this point.
They decided to put on a show, and I'm happy that they did. We're going to get at least 4 maps out of it. We will not end this series on Ascent. And with C9 having such a young gun, delivering like this in front of a crowd on foreign soil, this will be one hell of a story for him, one hell of a memory for a debut at this level if they can take it now as we're 1-1.
Oxy, Oxy, Oxy! Lads, we have a grand final on our hands here. C9 beating on Bind, Bosses on Breeze, heading next into their map pick. The tide has turned here in Tokyo. This is now an electric grand final going into our 3rd map of this best of 5 series. The crowd are loving it here in Tokyo, Japan. Join us very soon.